Hey, this is Fran with your Grow Intentionally video this week. Now, if you've been to Gothenburg lately, you would see that there are construction sites all over the place, and there are major construction work and projects going on that will improve dramatically, the transportation and availability to go to the airport and back, because there is a really big project now with increasing dramatically the number of tourists in Gothenburg. And this week, because when we talk about growing and intentionally growing, is putting ourselves in a situation where we grow. And one of the ways you could do that is to intentionally put yourself in a situation where you would grow and do something new. Like, a question that I usually like to ask people is, okay, what did you do, something that was for the first time this week? So what was one thing that you've done for the first time this week? And so one of the things that I've done for the first time was I was in a networking event with an organization called Venture Cup, and that was my first interaction with this organization. At that event, I had the pleasure to listen to one of the Gothenburg officials, Peter Grönberg, and he said something of the sort: if you see cranes in a city, it means it's growing and developing. And this is a different way of looking at things, because usually when there is construction work where they close roads, there is deviation in traffic, there is delays, all of these negative kind of things that we perceive when it's when there is construction work. But he put it in a completely different way, and he said, okay, if you see that there is construction work in the city, it means it's growing and developing. And I wrote an article on that and said, okay, so what are some invisible cranes that we could look after in our lives, and to see, okay, so if for a city it's easy to look out and see if there are cranes, if there is construction work, it means it's growing, it's developing, it's a great thing, it's positive. But how can you see that we as human will develop? And a way to do that is to look back at your week and at last week and say, okay, what was one thing that I've done for the first time? What was something new that I've done? And for me was going to this event with this networking opportunity with this organization. That was my first interaction with them. And so when we talk about growing intentionally, we talk about intentionally putting ourselves in those situations. So now, since the beginning of the week, it's Monday. Now think about, how can you intentionally put yourself in a situation that is new, that stretch you, that will make you grow, that you feel uncomfortable, right? So how do you know you grow? It's when you feel uncomfortable, because all that is familiar would not make us feel uncomfortable. The moment that we put ourselves in a situation where we haven't been before, you feel a little bit of uncomfortable. And so that's my idea for this week. So in growing intentionally, looking back at last week, where did you put yourself in a situation where you were there for the first time? And what kind of experience did you have for the first time? Maybe you've been to a restaurant, maybe a completely new restaurant, or maybe you ordered a new dish in the same restaurant. And now be intentional for this week that is now starting, and say, okay, so let me look at my week and say, where can I insert something which is new? To be intentional in that, and set the intention for the week. So these are some ideas that I share with you on these Grow Intentionally videos. And now what I want you to do is to take your agenda, pick a date, pick a time, and say, okay, Thursday morning I will attend this morning seminar, and this is something new, and I have not been there with this organization, and this is for the first time. So that was it. Thank you for tuning in. Take care, and I look forward to hear or to see in your comments, what would you do differently? What would you do something for the first time this week? Thank you for tuning in. Take care. Bye bye.